Bank is an African-based bank. We work in 16 different markets across the continent. That excludes South Africa. And our relationship with Finacle goes back many, many years. In fact, more than a decade. We are a continent that's quite cash heavy, and we needed a solution to address our huge volumes in our branches, and that's where our journey and co-creation with Infosys came in, and we started looking at the mobile teller as the best solution. Branch is very much part of our digital strategy. It's not sitting outside. It's not digital for us is not about self-service banking. So the branch is also the only channel where you can do 100% of banking. Other channels are very much focused on day-to-day payments, which is obviously not the end state, but that is where we are today. 54 million transactions or activities are facilitated through our near 500 branches across those 16 countries in a year. It's huge, huge volumes, and we had to start somewhere, and that is why we started with the branch. If we look at what happens in a branch, 60% of everything that happens in a branch is happening in the teller space. And that really gave rise to the focus on and the business case for the mobile teller, focusing on digitizing end-to-end the teller role. So the mobile teller really complemented our own definition of digital or digitization. It allowed us to provide the customer with a straight-through process for instant gratification. It allowed us to simplify the process. It took a legacy experience and really transformed that into a very slick, easy process. We were able to, with mobile teller, we were also able to, through our own transformation, remove any paper. So it really provided huge efficiencies, and the real benefit was that we were able to create 40% capacity. So essentially we doubled our teller workforce just by the implementation of the mobile teller in the teller space. And because we're in a growing market where we aspire to double-digit growth, customer growth, it meant that we don't need to actually employ more tellers. We actually have a workforce that can actually now manage all of that volume that we believe we're gonna get through the customer growth. So I think what people must understand, our peers and colleagues, is that although Mobi is perceived to be an application, it's actually built on an integration layer, on a layer that allows you to reuse that experience. So while we're talking about mobile teller and we are building great digital experiences, it really means that we could actually replicate that very same experience on any interface, onto an internet banking platform, onto a mobile channel. So essentially you build once and you use many. One of the key principles that we also believe that actually defines and underpins our own understanding of digital is that we really want to provide a same for customer, same for staff experience. We want to remove the glass in front of the teller in the branch. We want the customer to have a conversation with the staff member where I could swivel my chair and say to the customer, see, this is how you do it, and the next time you can do it on your own. Because if he had to log on to his internet banking to do any other service request, he would be able to, because it would be familiar. So same for customers, same for staff is something that I believe the omni-channel hub really gives us, because you are able to replicate a consistent experience across any interface and any wearable into the future. In Africa regions, USSD is a very strong channel. So that's really where the predominant volume is happening. It's reliable, it's simple, and people are able to use it. Now, clearly, that's not the future of digital. USSD is really not the future, but this is where we are today. I do believe that many of our customers, given, yes, there are external challenges in terms of connectivity and so on, there are customers that feel unsure on how to use an app or a fully fledged internet banking service. So the mobile teller, with our ability to replicate a very similar experience, the one being assisted versus self-assisted, will allow us to transition to assist the customer to self-service. An advantage to accelerating our own digital competitive edge is that when you build away from the glass, when you are building into a layer like an omni-channel hub, which is where MobiBank is obviously built on top of, you are able to create an advantage because you are building efficiently, you're building once, and you can scale it across many platforms, many markets, which gives us a competitive advantage. The real direct benefits that we're getting from the mobile teller, where we've actually saved on paper, we've actually doubled our workforce without hiring a single additional person, shows us that we can actually reduce our costs and grow our business at the same time, which definitely will give us an edge. We did an exercise with some customers, and they were coming to the tellers and they were asking for a 3-month bank statement. And we were so diligent in wanting to perfect how we digitize a perfectly stamped, electronically stamped 3-month bank statement. But that is what the customer wanted. But actually what he needed was a loan. So he was taking our bank statement and going across the road and getting a loan, instead of us really thinking deep about what that customer wants and digitizing a lending experience for the customer. So I do believe that the customer really needs to be center stage, and not just in the cliche way. Let's not guess, let's not try and understand, well, what do you think the customer wants? We have really adopted a way of work that allows us to, at the ground level, allow and enable our staff to have the right conversations with customers so that we are solving for what the customer really, really wants. Big thing for Standard Bank and our aspirations is really about leveraging the open bank. As I mentioned before, we have a very small footprint in terms of physical presence. We need partners, we need agents, we need other people to actually sell our products and vice versa. So definitely open bank is something that we're already starting to work on, doing a couple of proof of concepts in the trade lending space with merchants. And yeah, I think the future looks bright.